I so bad at being good?
It's a lot of dogs in fiction with crazy captivating stories, but there's one trope that stands out amongst the many. I mean, you read the title already, so like, the redemption arc. It's the reason why we love seeing enemies to lovers moments so much when they're done well. But the redemption arc in general is able to squeeze every droplet of development and characterization out of a character by taking them through both ends of the morality spectrum. It feels like there's so much you can do with a villain once they're humanized. You could go down the Killmonger route and have them dive even further into the bad guy pipeline, right? Or it can be redeemed. In one very special case, a specific character can actually go down either one of these paths, but we're not there yet. Think about the many redemption arcs we have in fiction though. We got Loki, Vegeta, Vader, Endeavor, Kylo Ren, Sasuke, damn near every villain in Steven, Robin, Frankie, even Megamind. Some of these are genuinely perfect and others are kinda man. Not gonna lie, both Kylo Ren and Vader kind of have mid-ass redemption arcs low-key. Vader's redemption arc happened in the span of like 10 minutes, but the shows did a lot for that whole story, so not too much on Vader. Also, the mid-ass redemption arc don't even matter when you look at how raw this is throughout the rest of the series. I can't really say the same for this man, but at least he looked cool. Then of course, there's Vegeta. I mean, dog, come on, you really don't need me to tell you how goated this man's redemption arc is, but let me stop confabulating, bro. You know who we're here for. Can you tell I just found out what that word means? The young Prince Zuko easily has the greatest redemption arc in all of fiction. Like, completely eclipses every other character I named. I mean, completely sunning these niggas. Avatar live action is finally upon us, and with its impending release, I wanted to take a look back at a real GOAT. Will it be a masterpiece? Will it be absolute dog water? Maybe somewhere in the middle? Who knows? But it's definitely got me in a little Avatar mood, and it's probably gonna be a little while before we see those new animated movies and series. So it's Zuko time. I was like 6 or 7 when this show's series finale was airing, and my siblings were lit as shit, and I low-key didn't know what the f those niggas were on about, but I watched it with them anyway and got instantly hooked. They were doing a rerun of the entire show leading up to the finale, and I remember the last few episodes of the whole show being my first impression of this shit, and I was most definitely sold instantly. Not gonna lie, I think if I watched book 1 first, I wouldn't have had such a strong instant love for the series. Of course, they reran the f out of the whole thing, so I did eventually watch it start to finish. Too many times. Actually, they really used to spam the ever-loving f out of those Avatar reruns. Avatar Extras was so goated though. But I say all this to say, Zuko was my favorite character during my first watch of the series. I mean, truthfully, how could he not be? My first impressions of him were the nigga at his peak. But also, as a kid, I thought every dark and brooding nigga was the coolest motherfucker alive.
Dada, when are we supposed to do this?
Shut the f when I'm talking, son. It's the last time I'm gonna tell you that shit.
Okay.
These days, it's genuinely impossible to pick a favorite character. Might be a crazy take, but every single one of these guys could carry a series on their own. But let me stop confabulating, gang. My bad, my bad. We here for young Zuko the God. Let's get into it. Frame 1 of this series, Zuko is on a different type of timing. This is a grimy motherfucker full of nothing but rage. Every Zuko scene in book 1 is this saying,
I must capture the Avatar to regain my honor.
He's definitely the biggest antagonist in the series at first too. And don't even mention this Zhao. Come on, this man is a fraud. Zuko gave this man the beats to the most fire song in the series. Grown man got his shit rocked by a youngin, and he tried to sneak him right after, bruh. This man is a fraud. He did get cooked by Aang the first time they met though. Katara also gave him the beats too, but these are both prodigies, so you feel me, this shit don't count. But that's really all besides the point. But yeah, he's our biggest threat right now, to the point where he's always on their tail on some smoker shit. But we get to see his actual human side too whenever he's away from Team Avatar. There's the various moments of him talking to Iroh, aka the realest nigga to ever be created, where he's still angry as shit, but he's also a deeply scarred kid, literally, who needs guidance. The reason why Zuko's whole arc is so fire, pun intended, is because we understand, at least to some extent, why he wants to put Aang on a t-shirt so bad. And we get subtle glimpses of what he's going to become once he fully realizes what he wants in his life. He very easily could have put Zhao in a blunt during that Agni Kai, but he also saved his soldiers during that storm too. This might be crazy to say, but low-key, the story belongs to Zuko just as much as it belongs to Aang, hence why they learned about their ancestry at the exact same time. The parallels were paralleling, dog. Zuko had his redemption seeds planted as early as book 1, and it started with us seeing how and why he is who he is. Book 2, I think, has the most interesting moments for him when it comes to development. Despite being a straight up fugitive, he still wants to put Aang in a pack, but we also get to see him go from town to town helping people on some reluctant hero, Samurai Jack shit. But also sometimes there are bigger fish than the Avatar to fry. Zuko and Aro have their own B/C plot to go through, but the end of book 2 is truly some of the most peak storytelling of all time. Katara and Zuko have a genuine moment that really put Zuko on a good guy pathway. We've slowly been building to this since forever, and now we finally get to see this happen. Zuko, what have you done? He finally got the chance to help put Aang in a blunt, and he took it at the cost of Aro and Katara. She was seconds away from healing this scar too. If Zuko decided to join Team Avatar right then and there, his redemption arc would be good. But the decision he makes right here makes his arc the greatest redemption arc of all time. Plain and simple. It's so perfect because it isn't linear. It feels genuinely real. He stumbles along his journey more than a few times, and because of that, it feels genuinely earned. You know he feels like absolute shit for betraying the only nigga that actually ever believed in him. But he still got what he wanted in the end, so he's good, right?
I'm angry at myself!
Nah, he not good. Zuko's at his most conflicted point in the whole series here, because before it always seemed like shit would just work out when he finally accomplished his goal. But not only is Aang still alive, but the shit just don't feel right. And all of those negative feelings are affirmed when he learns he's related to the previous Avatar, Roku, on his mom's side. This whole time he's been spamming the
I know it's my destiny to capture him.
card, but he finally is able to ask himself, why? Why is this my destiny? Who decided that? Of course, Sozin's great grandson is gonna tell you your destiny is to murk the Avatar. There is an agenda at play here. Now I got an eyelash in my eye. Damn, bro. I always be getting eyelashes in my eye at the worst time, bro. God. But then we finally get that clarifying moment of Zuko finally jumping ship all the way. No halvesies this time.
Hello, Zuko here.
Watching this lighten up a little after joining Team Avatar was the most satisfying ever too. Like, he's still dark and brooding, but he's not angry all the time the way he was before. He found his path to personal peace, which also happened to be peace for the whole world. Watching him get to bond with everyone was so fire. I think it's interesting that unlike everyone else, Zuko actually wants to help Katara on her revenge mission because he truly gets it. Also, seeing him bond with Sokka on a hot air balloon over losing their girlfriends was wholesome as f. Getting his firebending buff with Aang and doing the fusion dance was also fire. Do I gotta say pun intended every time I say fire, bruh? Toph and Zuko get a really wholesome moment about Iroh too. I really need to actually read the comics too, because apparently Zuko and Suki get close. Man, it sure would be fire to get a new movie or series or something about this cast as adults. Would go crazy. I wonder when that'll happen though. I wonder. But yeah, you don't need me to tell you that Avatar is one of the greatest pieces of fiction to ever come out. One of the best casts, one of the best power systems, one of the best worlds, etc, etc. I think it's really interesting how this series looks like an anime but flows like a Western cartoon, like story-wise, in terms of how they kind of go on like one-off adventures, kind of, sort of. Like, yeah, those one-off adventures matter, but like, it doesn't flow the same way like with an anime, like a standard traditional shonen, I guess. If you miss an episode, you're cooked. You're cooked. You don't know what's happening. But like with Avatar, like you could really isolate one of those solo adventures and like that could be somebody's first impression of the show. That's literally how I got into it as a kid. But regardless of how this live action goes, I'm personally still gonna be lit as shit, cause I know there's peak waiting for me. So shout out Avatar and shout out Zuko. The beat go off.
I can't feel my face right now. I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down. Like, got this feeling that I won't come down. Like, got this feeling that I won't come